If you are a fan of the travel enduros, you probably know about the new KTM 790 Adventure, and I am here on the Birmingham Motorcycle Live exhibition to show you all the specifications and all the details about the motorcycle, and also give you my opinion if I compare the motorcycle with the Yamaha Tenere 700. It'll be very interesting. Let's do it. First of all, the 790 Adventure is coming in two versions. So there is a version R, which you can see just down there, and the standard version non-R, which you can see displayed here. And the biggest difference is actually in the suspension, but we will get to that later. So this is the standard version 790. Both let's talk about what they have common. So both they share, of course, the frame and the engine. And the frame is from the very specific material, should be very lightweight. Also, we see here a very special solution in terms of the tank. This is probably the most the biggest differentiator of this bike. I don't know specifically what this material is about, like what is the name, but they told me in KTM that it's basically you can't crash it, you can't destroy this one, the fuel tank, which is just down there. The center of gravity of this one should be then lower, the whole bike should be lower, and the full capacity of these two boxes is actually 20 liters, which is nice in terms of the radius where you can ride your bike. In terms of protection, this you can see that in the standard you have some plastic protector of the tank, and then there you can see some carbon from the KTM cover parts. The most important thing on the 790 is that it actually is travel enduro, which should take you and maybe your wife or girlfriend or anyone with you, maybe some luggage system, and to your destination, and then you can experience really off-road fun, because this is super capable off-road enduro. The first important thing is the weight, because the dry weight of this whole bike is 189 kilos, and that's one of the lightest travel enduro on the market if we take multi-cylinder bikes, except the Yamaha Tenere 700 with the full tank. It has about 205 kilos wet weight, which means that if we put this one and the Tenere both with full tank, the Tenere will be slightly lighter, but with the less fuel in there. Another interesting thing, and I think competitive advantage of this bike, is the engine, because they use the same engine as you can find in 790 Duke naked bike, which is a motorcycle engine jam. It is a parallel twin 800cc with the 270-degree crankshaft design. And in the KTM Duke 790, it provides about 105 horsepower, 105 horsepower. But here it provides 70 kilowatts. It's all about the delivering of the output, not the maximum output. And I think the torque and the throttle reaction will be more important on this bike than the maximum power. With the KTM Duke 790, it also shares all the controllers and of course the display, colorful display, TFT, great unit. You can also add some connectivity with the Bluetooth, and mobile phone, Spotify, and all these kind of things. It has 4 fuel maps, plus one is rally, which you can buy extra for the non-R version. And on the R version, which is down there, and also this one is the R version, you have it on the standard. You have also traction control and inertial unit, which is the standard on KTM. Very good thing. Radially mounted brakes, cornering ABS. You see a not decent, but very proper engine protection, even in the non-R version. Very good. Of course, the LED lights standard in the full LED headlight, blinkers, tail light, and everything. And also when we look at the exhaust, which from the design point of view, it's not the most interesting thing I have ever seen, but if the sound will be the same as the Duke 790, it will be extraordinary fun. Now let's discuss the differences between 790 Adventure and 790 Adventure R. So the biggest and most important difference is in suspension, because on this version, the non-R, we see non-adjustable 43mm WP inverted fork and with the 200 millimeters suspension travel, and the same on the back, 200 millimeters, which you cannot adjust, just the preload in the back. And so the seat height is 850 millimeters in this case. And also the overall bike is a little bit smaller, or the ground clearance is lower. The weight is the same, 189 kilos dry weight. And now I'm sitting on the bike, and I can tell you straight away that with my 193 centimeters, I'm too small for the bike, too big for the bike, sorry. So you can see how easily I can reach the ground. So for anyone who is smaller than me, like 180 centimeters or less, it'll be a great bike really. But I can tell you again straight away and honestly that I wouldn't be buying this bike because it's too small to me. Another interesting thing really again is the tank, which reminds me of BMW, something like R1250 GS Adventure, which is all the portion of mass just down here. But it's a strange feeling, and I just can't wait to test it and understand how this works in practice. Windshield, which is in standard in both versions, non-adjustable. So now let's sit on the R version. 790R offers is a whole different song because it offers the way more sophisticated front fork, which is 48 millimeters wide. It's fully adjustable, 240 millimeters travel, which is really a difference. And then in the back we see a fully adjustable rear shock. Again, WP, fully adjustable, 240 millimeters travel. So the whole ground clearance is way higher, and also the seat height is 880 millimeters. And you can again straight away see that for someone like me, 193 centimeters, this is the bike I would like to ride. And then I can hardly remember any enduro, like travel enduro, multi-cylinder bike, which you can ride to your destination, and then this will probably reach any destination on any off-road you want to do, and the limits of this bike will be really high. So yeah, you can also see some visual differences on the R version in comparison to non-R. And as a bonus, I can show you there is some sort of a version with the KTM power parts in there. So there is these protections from the carbon. And also we can see these massive foot packs. Wow, that's like twice as big, maybe more than the standard, which you can see here. And last but not least, the Akrapovic, which looks way better than that one. And sound must be awesome. So this is from me, from Motorcycle Live in Birmingham. It was an amazing experience to see the KTM Duke 790 live. I can tell you that I am slightly disappointed by the non-R version, which I thought it'll be maybe competitor to Tenere in my eyes, but it's not. And it's too small bike to me, and I can test it. I can't wait to do it, but I wouldn't buy this bike because like I have 193 centimeters, but I am very surprised by the R version, which I kind of fell in love. So it'll be a very interesting season. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see honest and independent reviews of these motorcycles, and see you in the next episode. Bye.